Hare Krishna, welcome to Ved Sarthi. We are learning Bhagavad Gita verse by verse, and today we are going to learn Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, verse number 28. We have already completed three themes here of chapter 1 in the previous videos, that is preparation of war, signs of victory, and Krishna as Bhakta Vatsal. Currently, we are going through the verses under theme number 4, Arjun's doubts. And under this, we are learning the various reasons that Arjun gives for not fighting the war. And the first reason that Arjun gives is compassion. Now, in verse number 1.28 to 1.30, these verses talk about the various bodily symptoms that arose in Arjun out of compassion for his relatives. Under these verses, 1.28 to 1.30, we are going to cover verse number 28 in this specific video. Bhagavad Gita 1.28. Arjuna vacha drishtavemam swajanam Krishna yuyutsum samupastitam sidanti mama gatrani mukham cha parishusyati. Arjuna vacha. Arjun said, Drishtva, after seeing, imam, all these, swajanam, kinsmen, Krishna, O Krishna, yuyutsum, all in a fighting spirit, samupastitam, present, sidanti, are quivering, mama, my, gatrani, limbs of the body, mukham, mouth, cha, also, parishusyati, is drying up. Translation. Arjun said, My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Now let us try to understand this verse from Dua perspective, that is discover, understand and apply. Actually, if we look at the entire set of three verses from 1.28 to 1.30, we find that there are a number of symptoms which arose in Arjun due to compassion. So in this specific table, we have listed all these. But since we are focusing only on 1.28 in this specific video, so we are going to take up the first two bodily symptoms. That is, Sidanti mama gatrani, the limbs of my body are quivering, and mukham cha parishusyati, my mouth is drying up. Now coming back to Dua. So here Arjun experienced different bodily symptoms due to compassion for his relatives. And these are the two symptoms which we have mentioned under discover. Understanding. Devotee has godly qualities, whereas non-devotee lacks godly qualities. So here Srila Prabhupada is saying that one who is genuinely devoted to Lord Krishna has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in demigods. Whereas one who is a non-devotee, however advanced he may be materially, but he lacks godly qualities. And the reference verse which is taken to establish this specific fact is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, verse number 12. Yasyasti bhaktir bhavati akinchana sarvair gunaistatra samasate suraha harava abhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathena asati dhavato bahi. One who has unflinching devotion for the personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of the demigods. But one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualifications that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy. So here in this specific verse, actually the root cause is provided here, that one who is devoted to Krishna, that particular person is actually on the spiritual level and he is not enamored by the external energy Maya. That means he is actually not under the modes of material nature, and that is why he he possesses all good qualities of demigods. Whereas one who is not a devotee is under the influence of the external energy, that is Maya Shakti, and he is attracted towards this material energy and hovering on Dehatma Buddhi, on the plane of Dehatma Buddhi, that is bodily and mental platform. And because of this, he lacks the godly qualities. Now we understand that Arjun was a devotee of Krishna and he possessed godly qualities. And because of this, actually, he had compassion also for the soldiers in the Kauravas party. So he was feeling compassionate for everyone that was participating in this war. And Srila Prabhupada says that he was so much overwhelmed that along with these symptoms, he was crying also. And in contrast to Arjun, we see that Duryodhan was a non-devotee and he did not have any compassion. He was only concerned about his evil ambition and he was actually exploiting everyone. His elders, his guru, his brothers, his friends. So everybody, whoever he could exploit, he was putting in his best, efforts to exploit everyone to fulfill his evil ambition. Now application. Application here is that we must be devoted to Krishna just like Arjun and Pandavas, and we must cultivate godly qualities and be compassionate towards all beings. So we must be like Arjun and Pandavas, compassionate, devoted to Krishna. Okay, and next, we should not be materialistic like Duryodhan. So we learn from this specific, understanding. The application is that we must be devoted to Krishna like Pandavas and we must not be materialistic like Duryodhan. Now coming to the next understanding here. Symptoms in Arjun were due to soft-heartedness. So here Srila Prabhupada is telling us that these symptoms, all these bodily symptoms that appeared in Arjun, they were not due to weakness. Arjun was a very powerful, strong Kshatriya. He was not weak. But because he was soft-hearted, because he is pure devotee of Lord, so he was soft-hearted, and that is why, these symptoms, they appeared. Whereas now, when we see Duryodhan, so Duryodhan was callous, hard-hearted. And such, non-devotees, they do not hesitate to harm others to fulfill their material ambition. We have examples like, Kans. He did not hesitate to harm his own sister, Devki, when he came to know that Devki's son is going to be the reason for his death. And Hiranyakashipu, he did not hesitate to harm his own son, Prahlad, when he saw that Prahlad was glorifying his enemy. Actually, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna is not anyone's enemy. But it is due to material conception that, Asuras, they feel that Krishna is their enemy. So these symptoms that arose in Arjun due to soft-heartedness, we find that later on, when he took the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, he gave up his soft-heartedness and he got ready to fulfill the higher purpose of life, that is fulfilling the mission of the Lord. Although, we see that natural quality of Arjun, being devotee of Lord Krishna, was soft-heartedness. But to fulfill the higher purpose, that is to fulfill the mission of Krishna, he gave up his soft-heartedness and he fought this war. Now, application from this is that we should not consider Arjun weak. So very, very important, we must understand that all these symptoms that arose in Arjun, all these feelings that, that were coming in Arjun's mind, all these were actually by the will of Krishna. This was all setting up the scene, where Krishna could speak Bhagavad Gita for the welfare of mankind. And next, just like Arjun, we should understand the higher purpose of life by taking the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and we should always be ready to serve that higher purpose of satisfying Krishna. Next understanding is the significance of the word swajanam. So swajanam means kinsman or own man. Swajan. Now here, due to bodily conception, Arjuna is thinking that his friends and relatives are his swajan. Now again, you don't have to forget that all this is by the will of Krishna. Krishna has made all this arrangement so that actually, Arjun gets into this conception and he shares his feelings with Krishna, and Krishna delivers Bhagavad Gita. Now this relationship, which one considers, is based on the present birth. All our friends, relatives, our near and dear ones, basically those are related to this present birth, the present body that we have attained. So all these relationships are connected with the present body, present birth. But our actual swajan is Lord Krishna, and we are eternally related with Krishna. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse number 29, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. Krishna says that I am the well-wishing friend of all living entities. And also in chapter 15, verse number 7, Krishna says, Mame Vansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So all these living entities, they are my eternal fragmental parts. So we are all eternally related with Krishna, and Krishna is our well-wishing friend. So application here is that we must understand that our real swajan is Krishna, and we must work towards re-establishing our forgotten relationship with Krishna through the process of devotional service under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Because we have been associated with this material energy life on life from time immemorial, that is why we have forgotten our real identity, our relationship with Krishna. So we can re-establish that forgotten relationship only under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. So this is all on verse number 1.28. Our next topic will be verse 1.29, where we are going to take up the next 4 symptoms. So next we'll be covering verse number 29. Thank you. And we dedicate all these videos to our Guru Maharaj, His Divine Grace AC, Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.